Let's take a look at what several local businesses are doing to adapt to these pandemic conditions by visiting with Representative Scott Nishimoto in District 21. He takes us to Diamond Head Theater, the famous Leonards Bakery, and Scoops High, a small business that took root recently in McCully at the beginning of the pandemic. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm State Representative Scott Nishimoto, and welcome to my district. This is one of the true gems of my district. We're at Diamond Head Theater. I've been on the community board for a while. I've also been a season ticket holder for about a decade. So I'm really committed to the theater. I want to introduce Dina Dre to talk a little bit about the history of the theater and what's going on.
Right, so this theater was established in 1915. A group of community members got together and did play readings, and it grew into a full-fledged community theater. It's grown a lot in the 105 years that we've been around, and we're continuing to grow by bringing our community the best in live theatrical entertainment. We call ourselves the Broadway of the Pacific, so we don't expect people to think this is Broadway, but we want them to know that that's the type of show we do.
So I am a huge fan of Diamond Head Theater, and I know that you folks have really pivoted during the pandemic. So can you explain some of the innovative things you did during the first part of this pandemic?
Sure. So we were stunned, as everyone was, by what was happening to our community under COVID, and we scrambled to find some way to keep ourselves doing theatrical productions, and we came up with drive-ins in our parking lot. And we have a loading dock that sticks out the back of the theater, and it was perfect because they would be up above the cars and visible, and everybody had a great time. Now, the only disadvantage, of course, it was tiny compared to what our full house would be as far as audience members. So,
well, now that we're moving into less restrictions, can you explain what you've done to the theater so that you can welcome more people back?
Exactly. So we now are welcoming 125 patrons. That's quite a bit less than our usual 475. But we wanted to make people feel okay about coming back. So we have skipped every other row for the last couple of shows. Starting on March 12th, we're still going to have 125. And then a week later, Tier 3 holding strong, we will go to 250, which still gives everybody a staggered seat. There's not somebody directly in front of you. And we have a protocol for people entering and exiting. So you go out by row, so we don't have a bunch of crowding in the aisles. You come in one at a time. We tell people to stay in their cars until the 7 o'clock when the show starts. They line up socially distant outside. They go through a temperature robot, hand sanitizer. They find their own seats. They don't have any tickets. There's no playbills. So we're really making it as comfortable as we can make it for people to feel safe.
And another really important aspect about Diamond Head Theater is that you folks offer classes.
We do, and that's been a big challenge because Zoom classes aren't quite as engaging as in-person classes. So now going into Tier 3, we are so excited because we'll be able to have 10 people in a classroom, well, 9 with the instructor. So we're probably going to do a hybrid. We're really excited about welcoming our students back.
So are there any other programs that you guys do here besides the classes and the great plays?
You know, it's mostly entertainment and education, but also the third leg of our stool really is volunteers. And we have a robust volunteer program because people love to help out, whether they're painting the sets or ushering, or eventually when we get back to selling snacks.
And I can attest that they take good care of their volunteers. They have a big lunch picnic once a year. I volunteered at it.
Scott has helped serve food.
That's right, and they recognize all their volunteers.
Right, we do. Because volunteers really are the heartbeat of community theaters. I mean, we could never put on the shows we do. All the cast members are volunteers, all the crew are volunteers, the people in the audience, I mean the ushers and ticket takers are volunteers. So volunteerism is really, really important to us, and we need to make people feel appreciated, and we need to let them know how grateful we are for having them. So it's great.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Sure. Happy to have you. Come see our shows and get your kids back in the classes.
We will. We'll definitely do that.
Good.
Hey Dina, thanks so much for showing me around the site. Can you talk a little bit about the new theater?
Sure. So this has been in the process for about since 2007. We started planning, we started looking at, we needed to rehab this building. Should we try to reconstruct it or should we build brand new? We found out we needed to build brand new. It just wouldn't hold up. It was 1930s USO movie house, just doesn't have the infrastructure.
Wow.
Then we did a site development plan and we said, can we build on the same site? Because I cannot imagine where we would go if we tore this down and had to build from this position. So we found out we could. We have room here. So we're building right next door, going up to the hillside. Had to go through a lot of processing and permitting to get to this day, but we broke ground around October, very quiet ceremony with just a kahu to bless the grounds and make sure we were operating safely and spiritually.
Good.
And then we've been working forward ever since. It's been exciting to see construction. The fence going up was a big day for us. The staff feels very kind of excited and emotional about this actually happening now after such a long planning process.
Can you talk a little bit about what's the difference going to be between the new theater and the old one?
So the new theater will be state-of-the-art. That's the biggest difference. Technology, having a fly loft, and what that means is there's a place for the scenery to go up into instead of rattling off to the side like it does now.
The current theater doesn't have the room to go up and down, right? So you got to go side to side
only.
only.
It's a movie house, right?
Okay.
Not as a live theater. So the fly loft was a big improvement for us, will be a big improvement for us. Seamless set changes, a lot faster. The shows will just move quicker because like Broadway, when they pick the stuff up, the next scene comes right on the stage.
Right.
Seats will be bigger and at a different pitch, so you'll have a better view.
Oh, good.
You won't be bobbing between other people as you look at the show.
One thing that you're really excited about is you're starting to show shows again.
Yeah.
With this
This
one shout.
We've been kind of tiptoeing a little bit with a couple of shows, a couple of plays.
Okay.
This is our first big musical in our season. New kind of, we're calling it the Pandemic Adapted Performance Series.
Okay.
So we're doing like kind of a mini pop-up season, and it opens March 12th.
Good. And how can people get tickets?
Online.
Online, okay.
www.diamondheadtheater.com.
Good.
Super easy.
Come check it out.
So Reverend Nishimoto, thank you for inviting me to your district. Can you tell me where we are?
So we are at world famous Leonards Bakery. Great place to get malasadas and other pastries. As you can see, there's a long line always at this place. It's popular with tourists and locals. What's significant for me, not only the great food, is that I grew up right up the street here on Charles Street.
Oh, wow.
So my family house was up the street here. My dad was raised in that house, and then I lived in that house too.
Well, this is iconic. So how many malasadas did you eat when you were growing up?
I can't count. Too many to count, but I can remember walking down the street to buy it very often.
Now, what's your favorite malasada here?
So I'm a traditionalist. I gotta get the straight plain malasada.
Okay.
They're all good. The cinnamon one is good. The ones with filling are good. But I'm old school, so it's gotta be the regular plain. We are in Moiliili with one of my favorite small businesses, Scoop Scoop. Great sherbet place, outstanding customer service, and we're here with the owner, Tiffany. Thanks for being here, Tiffany.
Thank you. So what inspired you to make sherbet? I used to experiment with like little homemade cups of like goody style stuff for my son, and then I let my friends try and they all loved it. So we kind of started to experiment with other flavors and stuff.
So you are the chef.
Oh yeah, basically.
Right on. So my favorite flavors are Shmeen Green, the orange creamsicle, and strawberry. What are the most popular flavors?
So the Shmeen Green and the orange creamsicle, those are actually special, so we don't have them all the time. But from our regular flavors, I would say that the leafy New Belt and the honeydew are really popular, and then strawberry is also really popular. It's just like a taste flavor that everyone likes to try first.
And give the address, your physical address.
It's 1915 South King Street in Honolulu.
Okay, and you guys also do some things at farmers markets, or?
Yeah, so we've been experimenting a lot with popping up at like food truck fest, and we're looking into getting into more areas of the island, because we've been mostly in town or central, so we're trying to get on like, the west side or east side.
Okay. Well, come check them out. You can't miss the building. It's orange. It's got these characters on the outside, and great product.
Let's get some ice cream.
Yep, sounds good.
It's so great to see the resilience of these small businesses and how Diamond Head Theater has adapted to hold live performances, something that has been missing in a lot of people's lives this past year.